Ferganize here. Hey guys, hope you're having a good day. I want to tell you about Ryan. Ryan got a gig at a church. He knows basic chords, he taught himself, but he needs to know how to add that gospel sound. So he asked me about it. I told him the biggest thing that affects my sound when I play gospel is using tritones. What are tritones, you ask? A tritone is an interval of four whole tones. So if you take, for instance, we start at C and we go up three whole tones. So one whole tone is C to D, two whole tones would be C to E, and then three whole tones would be C to G flat or F sharp. So there's your tritone. By itself, it sounds kind of weird, but when you play it with a major chord, it makes it sound a lot more gospel. So basically, for our purposes, the tritone is the third and the seven flat, or the dominant seventh. So take, again, C for instance. We have E, which is your third, and then seven flat, your dominant seven. And that is a tritone. One tone, two tones, three tones, tritone. That basically creates your C7 chord. So if you play your basic C chord on top of the tritone, it gives you a gospel sound. You can make this even more gospel sounding by playing the first inversion of the C chord and then lowering that E, dropping the third to the second. There you go. That's the sound you want. So basically what I'm going to teach you today is from a blues sound using basic triads to a gospel sound using tritones. So I'm going to play to a blues track that I made, and first we're going to play basic blues like this. C first inversion with on the left hand fifths and sixths going back and forth. So we're going to go from the first pattern, the C pattern, C to F and back. So right hand C first inversion to your F root chord. And then left hand C fifth to an F. C fifth to a C6. So when you play that six, that's basically your F chord. Back and forth. So that's the C pattern. Now we're going to go to F, and F will be like this. Right hand F chord to a B flat second inversion. Again, we're just starting with the blues, basic blues, and then we're going to turn this into gospel sounding using tritones. But I want to get all on the same page. So let's do this blues exercise, and then we'll do the gospel. So back to the F. Here's your left hand F pattern, fifth, sixth, back and forth. Then we have our 5 G. There's our G chord, G root position to our C second inversion. And then the left hand, your G fifth, G6, back and forth. Okay, Okay, so I'm going to do each pattern again. Here's your C pattern. Then your F pattern. Now your G pattern. Okay, so basically, if this is the level that you're at, you know your basic chords, you can play a blues pattern, but you want to have a gospel sound, that's what we're going to do today. So first, let's play the blues song using the patterns I just showed you. Okay, so now that we're on the same page with the blues, let's get into gospel and tritones. We're basically going to play the same thing, but using tritones in the left hand instead of the fifth and sixth intervals that we did before. So let's review the tritones for each key in the key of C. Well, I mean the 1, 4, 5, which would be C, F, and G. So the C tritone, we're going to start on the third, E, and go up 1, 2, 3 whole tones, and that's our C tritone. As you can see, when you add the C bass, that makes a C7. Now, all you got to do to make the F tritone is go down a half step. So move the E to E flat and the B flat to A. Now this is your F tritone. We have the 7 flat and the 3. So notice they switched. Before we were playing the 3 and 7 flat of E. Now we're playing the 7 flat and A of F. So notice when you go down a half step, you're actually moving up a fourth. So C to F, if we go down another half step, we'll be up a fourth to B flat. There's the third of B flat and the 7 flat of B flat. So if you go down another half step, there's your E flat tritone. Anyway, let's get back to what we're doing in the key of C. So we have our C tritone, And if you move everything down a half step, you have your F tritone. And by the way, I'm using my pinky on the E note and my pointer finger on the B flat. So pinky and pointer finger, fingers 2 and 5. So move that down a half step and we're at our F. Now the other cool thing, if you move up a half step, you're going up a fifth. So to get from our C chord to the G chord, you move the tritone up a half step. So as you can see, we have the 7 flat of G and the 3 of G right there. So everything's right here. There's our C, down to our F, back to C, up to G. So everything's right there. C, F, C, G. Okay. In the right hand, we're going to play the same thing. So C, first inversion. Actually, we're going to change this C just to make it a little more gospel. We're going to drop the third down a whole step to D, which you can call this a C second. Some people call, once we add the dominant 7, it's actually a C9. And that sounds very gospel. So that's the only change we're going to do in the right hand. So we're going to go C to our F and back to our C9. C9, F root, C9. The left hand, we're going to go back and forth from our C tritone to our F tritone. It's going to correspond with the chord that you're playing in the right hand. So C9, F, back to C9. And that right there is a major secret in sounding gospel. Let's go to the next pattern, which would be our F pattern. Here we go. So we have our F root and our F tritone. And in the right hand, just like we did with the blues, we're going to go up to B flat. And of course, our left hand tritone is going to correspond and by going down a half step to our B flat tritone. Okay, so let's go to our G pattern. So again, the same thing in the right hand. G root to our C second inversion. Now in the left hand, you're going to play your G tritone, F and B. Then when you play the C chord in the right hand, you're going to move down a half step with your left hand to the C tritone. Okay, and we're going to follow the blues pattern again. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Okay, I hope this is helpful to Ryan and anyone else out there in that same situation. If you have any questions or if I missed anything, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Also, if you have any other ideas on things I can teach regarding gospel music or anything about music in general, please let me know. If this video was of value to you, please like and subscribe, ring that bell, and leave me some comments. Let me know what you liked of this video and what you'd like to see in the future. Okay, Fergan Ice signing out. Bye.